Okay, are we ready for our first act? Make some noise for Liverpool's own Legion Line. Give it up! Let me see. Do you hear that? Or is it too bassy or? 1, 2. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Just get on the mic.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello? Okay, that's a bit. Is that too loud? So, first poem I'm going to start off with. This poem is the poem that led to the founding of the Transatlantic Slave Museum. It also led to National Slavery Day. The Collegium of African American Research is an international organisation. The secretary of that organisation, and there are professors and university lecturers. The professor of that secretary of that organisation is at the University of Lagoon in the Canary Islands, and she's got 3 poems framed on her office wall, and this is one of them. It's called Slave Pool. When I first started doing this, nobody had linked the black people in Liverpool to Liverpool's history of slavery. And when I put people in the street to be cares, because we did in the street and everything, saying, why are you dragging up the past? And I did this when it wasn't the Transatlantic Slavery, it was just the Maritime Museum. Yeah. I'm in the Maritime Museum, we did this for Congress. He threw me out. And I said to the dog, why throw me out? He says, Liverpool never had anything to do with slavery. Liverpool got its money from cotton, sugar, and rum. I said, who cut the cotton? Who took the bales of cotton? Who cut the sugar cane? Who cut the tobacco? Next obvious question to that is, get the police. And you know, there's a whole thing about it. I've done this was a film. We did a film about this poem on Channel 4. I've done countless appearances on radio all over the place. Particularly, we did a big thing on radio for when the cathedral, they had a service in the cathedral for the city's apologies about slavery, whatever that means. This was part of the programme, and I performed it there. It went out on Radio 4, Radio 5, and Radio 6 that day. But anyway, I'll just do the poem, Slave Pool. A seaport sprang from the blood of slaves in the pool of life of a car parade, a human marketplace, black flesh for trade. We're talking African people held in chains. Cargo bought and sold on the cotton exchange with the gum and the rum and the sugar cane. We were branded like beasts who feel no pain, and all for merry old England's game. But history's changing, rearranging, only we can clear our name. Growing, knowing, faces glowing, reciting the most beautiful names. Our slaves are praying again. Things will never be the same. Pirates auctioning down pits, and in the Parliament pits the wits, and in the church sold out our soul for gold and the mosque. That's how come them suckers got rich. I mean, the capital they carved the coals in niche for the cotton industry and the nouveau riche. Excuse me, I don't mean to preach, but black blood, sweat and tears toiled and slaved for years to create all the wealth, interest-free, banking, shipping, industry. Black poverty paved the way to posterity. John Bull cashed in on our posterity with legitimized robbery of African property, a legacy of history we still don't see, and an Islamic legacy buried in history. Our mineral-rich land, time, energy, and pain built the British Empire that ruled in shame. Not the Smithdown collective claims for credit, or a share in the wealth of that direct debit. 400 years of shackles and chains, attitude, slander, media campaigns, and outrageous claims that retard our aims by the trivialization of racist games. But let me tell you something. History changing, rearranging. Only we can clear our name. Growing, knowing the azans flowing, faces glowing, reciting the most beautiful names. Our slaves are praying again. Things will never be the same. Our real contribution to Smithdown forgotten by delusional grandeur, corrupted and rotten. Slave shipped to the cotton picket slave plantation, sold down the Swanee to the humanization, jumped down, tin around, pick a bill of nothing but a bullwhip, noose or a gun or something. Imports, exports, holiday resorts. The input was mostly ours, of course. The world's largest ever unpaid workforce with the most abundant source of natural resources. And we didn't profit one iota, more's the worst. Our mineral-rich land, time, energy, and pain built a British Empire that ruled in shame. Now the Smithdown collective claims for credit, or a share in the wealth of that direct debit. 400 years of shackles and chains, attitude, slander, media campaigns, and outrageous claims that retard our aims by the trivialization of racist games. But let me tell you something. People changing, rearranging. Only we can clear our name. Growing, knowing, faces glowing. Our slaves are praying again. We're reciting their most beautiful names. Things will never be the same. Now, have you ever been on the dole or without a home? You realize what I'm saying, that it all began by a way of life that's carried on, by burying truth to keep the people down. A few minority, this goes right across the world, keeping the majority of the people down. Liverpool is a city and a society built on a truth that's cruel. Once upon a time, it was the nation's jewel. It was slavery made this place the nation's jewel. But now the people in Liverpool, like the rest of the North, discarded like a worn-out industrial tool. Used and abused like the slaves of old. So a lot of people in the city have got the blues. They've got the blues down cold. I see them sitting outside Tesco's. I see them sitting outside the AT machine, waiting for people to get money. Preying on your sense of humanity. They walk up and down when you're in a pavement restaurant. Then people have got the blues. Let me show you something. Now, the Beatles, they got their money and they got their music from the blues. They first started off doing blues cover versions. The basic Liverpool music is blues music. All people in Liverpool got the blues. It's their music, just as much as you've appropriated it as the Rolling Stones did. And some people say they understand. You know what? I guess that's cool. But the song remains the same, Slave Pool. Ya yo, every now say. Ya yo le, every now say. Ya yo, every now say. Ya yo le, every now say. Ya yo la kundopa, ya yo tufu kedi kundopa kokeloko. Waba nuli deslo ko. Sanda ise, sanda ise. Ayoko, 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 ayoko. Mineke de mine ponda. Ewa. Slave Pool. So I was in the music business. I was in a group called The Mighty War, who had a #1 hit in the UK charts with Story of the Blues. Ironically, I did a rap on that album, toured as the rapper and backing vocalist. But I didn't really like the music business. I much preferred being so independent, where I could do what I wanted to do. I didn't really like the pop business. But this is called Static in the Attic. And I finished it with a little piece called Underground Scribble, which compares, it's a bit like, it's my experience of being in the music business. Static in the Attic is like bad head, you know what I mean? That's what you get when you're in the music business. People trying to change you, mold you. Just do it like this, trying to make you into like a minstrel. If I sound a bit like, I'm nervous because I haven't performed since 2019.
Oh my God.
This is called Static in the Attic. North of the Sahara or just north of the Watford Gap, cosmopolitan people in a post-millennium melting spot, in a white spot, in a city night spot. Everybody gets flat when you hear the gunshot. Others don't stop, they just keep on bobbing like they're having some fun. Ones who suckers start dropping off one by one. All that glitters is sold as gold on a rope. Fortunes are made, others are told as hope. Another Western lifestyle, pop flirtation, with a groovy ethnocentric orientation. They said, flavor of the month, get it down on plastic. Yeah, that's kicking, okay, fantastic. 1001 nights of Static in the Attic, getting hyped on Static in the Attic, oh yeah. Hold on tight, cause we're going on a trip. That was the lounge called DJ in a Dayglow strip. And when the flip, the dip, the trip, you know, the cat took off. Reached the peak, tried to speak, and then he chewed his own lid off. Mass hallucination is like a media malady. Public opinion is just a marketing strategy. Def Jam, body slam, it's the latest thing. Values diluted in a dizzy dope mixed down. Superficial prejudice prey on something like your lower senses. evolution cash flow, commodity expenses, merchandise lifestyles, disposable realities, and these are the niceties. These are the vanities we're sold as niceties. And I thought they wouldn't like that, but they said, flavor of the month, get it down on plastic. Yeah, that's kicking, okay, fantastic. 1001 nights of Static in the Attic, getting hyped on Static in the Attic. Oh yeah. Paris to Peking, Beijing to Baghdad, everybody flipping and dipping and tripping over the latest fads. You buy a style, design a good style, and in a while, you get bitten somewhere sinful by the smile crocodile. Smiling faces, stroke lights, and a wacky rack attack. Be nice to the management, lads, no crack, no smack. Refugees from the Wirral Peninsula, hard at work. The Midnight Express is out of its head, stressed and kind of gone berserk. Extras from the set of Bad Munchausen, out to lunch, no regrets what's happening. Cloud nine, sunshine, psychedelic shack. Temptation set back, just watching the game. The reservation did an Indian dance that could bring on the rain. They said, flavor of the month, get it down on plastic. Yeah, that's kicking, okay, fantastic. 1001 nights of Static in the Attic, getting hyped on Static in the Attic. Oh yeah. In the corner of the house, a little group stands out. These guys are serious, that much was never in doubt. The leader's face bore a look of distaste. These people were defending something similar to a personal headspace. Someone casts a complacent glance, reveals an attitude towards chance in tones that convey alternative intentions. Not a lot, but just enough to mention. Eyes clock on the time, I move in and unwind. It's like African dance culture surfaced worldwide. It's like we went up there, we took the world out to socialize. Now that's not a bad idea, but I wonder, was it wise? They said, flavor of the month, get it down on plastic. Yeah, that's kicking, okay, fantastic. 1001 nights of Static in the Attic, getting hyped on Static in the Attic. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, hang on. Couldn't trust what I'd seen or heard. Double standards, perceptions blurred. I reached for my guide to the known universe, my pocketbook of Sufi rap prayers. I quoted Malcolm X, roses from the heart, text and verse. Sentence 1, subheading 2, paragraph 3. What difference does it make to you about what it all means to me? When the bright sun shines, it refreshes my skin, my face, my mind, my kind, my conscious kind. Light is a universal symbol of equilibrium. Applicable to any people, any generation, any nation, any color, any race. All times, in all time-space continuums. Chapter 3, subheading 2, paragraph 1. What difference does it mean to me? Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. That's sick. Do not sell your mind for a metaphor on plastic. That's sick. Don't let your mind dissolve into a perspex packet. Remember Allah and the reasons you fasted. And they said, flavor of the month, get it down on plastic. Yeah, that's kicking, okay, fantastic. 1001 nights. Static in the Attic, getting hyped on Static in the Attic. Oh yeah. In a white hot, in a city night spot, griots ripping up the air with some hardcore hip-hop, born of drum boogie and heavy dread bass drop. Access to society, no way lads, not today lads, all the doors are locked and all the exits clocked. But rap's been rocking that plan since before my time began. Rapping in a circular motion, that's how it's done. From the savanna grasslands of West Africa to the urban wastelands of the inner city, disaster area, like the hand clap, the finger snap, the drum and the boogaloo foot tap, rhythms of slaves from way, way back to the grapevine of time and space and time, and roads that go way, way down the line too. A long time ago, urban griots checking out the now and our living, natural urban vibes, homegrown in Britain, like the seven seas link up all the whales and the oceans. Past griots link up whales, ideas and motions, pen power to the people, putting words in motion. Each line hand-picked with pure devotion, and as rapidly applied poetry fights to survive in the depths of the city where the street culture thrives. Our sense of achievement is rekindled, and our pride revived with underground scribble. So we just scribble on the rhythm, keep the poetry living. We scribble on the rhythm, keep the poetry living. We scribble on the rhythm to show we're still living with the underground scribble. Thank you, peace.
Yeah.
I up in Bristol, and we called the band Soul on Ice, which was the name that I called this tune, which I took from a book from the Civil Rights era from Jazz Griot. And the guy whose music it was called Simon Preston. He was a Cornish guy, proud Cornish man, red hair, all that. But he was a devotee of African music. He went to Dartmouth Music College. He spent 2 years in Tanzania with Remy Ongola, learning Tanzanian music. He spent 6 months in Ghana, learning marimbas. Backward and forward from Brazil and Cuba all the time. He's just a serious percussionist, you know what I mean? And this is something that was on the CD I did with them. It's called Soul on Ice.
Yeah.
Average citizenship, you know, was status denied. Too many stereotypes have been invading the lifestyle. Give them an inch and you know they'll take a mile. Network 23 right now, we're on prime time. Some confuse, some arrive at a place with a view, and you that helps them survive. Some thrive, some survive, some revive. Some fight to keep the soul alive. A little down the line, some people survive. We're tracing back to the facts of a post-modern history, unraveling the trace rate of nuts in the mystery. Some structural setbacks accepted and rectified. But the road is long and the struggle is broad and wide, like the River Jordan, broad and wide. As recited by the throngs who sang the gospel songs, inspired by the freedom for which we longed. Gives a whole new meaning to the word forgiving, to blood-stained seasons, new reasons for living. With hearts left bleeding to open minds, we found the oneness of all people. At the dawn of time, we rise above it. Through the middle passage as we rode the tide, we memorized scriptures, spoken pictures to keep us alive. And we rose above it as brothers and sisters. And together, and together, and together we shine. But if you detect a somber tone, that's called the rhythm of the blues is in your soul. Like the wail of Coltrane's saxophone, Billie Holiday oozing the sweet blues tone. Or a line from one of Rumi's love-torn poems, they call it Soul on Ice, cold chilling to the bone. It's like soul on ice, cold chilling to the bone. I'm just a slave of the law on a journey home. But bear with me, I like to rock the microphone, yeah. No, I don't get this funky because I'm ethnocentric. This is that I kind of swing with a lightweight pop thing. The epidemic of media bad taste, all the race hate owners are hot on the case. Poets preach, reach, and try to teach when they speak. Rappers in general don't turn the other cheek. We just speak what we want from a freedom of will. What I've spoken is no joke, it's being known to kill off bad impressions with a lesson that makes time heal. I like to deal the ideal with a zeal to be real. Manipulation of information for your mind, let it forage. But the name of the game is the application of knowledge. I build inner cartographies to help people think. Don't take it over the top, just keep it there on the brink. But if you detect a somber tone, that's just the rhythm of the blues that's in my soul. Like the wail of Coltrane's saxophone, with the holiday blues and a smooth blues tone. Soul on ice, cold chilling to the bone. It's like soul on ice, cold chilling to the bone. I'm just a slave of the law on the journey home. But bear with me, I like to rock the microphone down. A lot of people in the West have looked elsewhere for a place in the sun or a reason to care. In places they never really told us ever existed. When I discovered the truth, I must admit I felt twisted. I went inward and reflected, tried to stay objective. I knew I had to solve it because it couldn't be neglected. I took the sound of some Sudanese Sufis on a mountaintop. Ramadan, midnight, chanting surahs non-stop. Sounded to me like some rooftop reggae, or some avant-garde jazz, or some ancestral hip-hop. Drank it into my soul to the very last drop. I couldn't refuse it, I rhythm and blues it. The way was global, holistic, I knew how to use it. It had been in my blood like a skin-tight fit, even in my bones, and now I'm conscious of it. And as the saxophone solo cuts a path through here, what I see in my ear is the call to prayer, the azan. In retrospect, I reflect, and it's all quite clear. Something I feel the people on our tiny planet should know. Feel the song in your heart, and the harmony grows. Something I feel people on our lonely planet should know. Feel the song in your heart, and the harmonies grow. Feel the song in your heart and you will see love flow. You will see love flow. You will see love flow. Feel the song in your heart, you will see love flow. But if you detect the somber tone, that's just the rhythm of the blues that's in your soul. Like the wail of Coltrane saxophone, Billie Holiday ooze and the smooth blues tone. Soul on an ice cold chilling to the bone. Soul on an ice cold chilling to the bone. I'm just a slave of the law on the journey home. But bear with me. I like to rock the microphone, yeah. Jaftal, Gaia, Heinz, believe it, Shah, Vitaka, kill me, bang, Shibi, Hoshibara, Haril, Gaba, Dubita, Allah, ya, Hurri, Jawar, hey, now, which will be Allah, Sumul, Karura, we laugh for you, Hotapali for whom, friendly, whom, Fridia, Hotapali for whom, friendly, Fridia, Ajira Lixo Active, Medicine, Yater, Willicardi, Yater, I just go to me. Go with me. I like to rock the microphone. This one was another one off the song on ICD, and it's simply called Love is Most Great.
Do you drink?
Are you the way of the beloved in an excellent manner? I've got blues etiquette and English grammar, so let the rap ring out like a blacksmith's hammer in a style that could use a little jazz piano. It's in the nature of my natural born urban jazz roots. I temper my nature, my soul bears fruit, knowledge of self, understanding, and timeless truth. My shake move with the beat of the streets has its proof. He was Sufi by nature, city in tone, liquor rhythm in the blood, cultured skin, flesh, and bone. So with control of emotion and clarity of mind, may Allah allow the rap to unwind. And let the rap adapt the books that a punch made. What we need is love, womb to the tomb, cradle to the grave. At the end of the day, the best thing I can say is, Allah, what? Love is most great. Now, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was one. Created for the people to know and understand about the sun and the moon, and the sky and the land, cooperating with nature the way they plan. Drum beats create the heat to move the feet, inspire that walk, that talk that's moving on the street. Poetry in motion like a present from the giver. We're just moving with the natural flow of life's river. The world leaders to deceive us as they fight for peace. To the ways they seek help the conflict cease. As they discuss and debate our destiny and fate, you'll see the caveman club now caving in under the weight of the silence that sows the seeds of ignorance, suspicion, fear, hatred, and greed. Put a right to the wrong, put an end to the need, put your mind at rest, and your soul is free. With control of emotion and clarity of mind, may Allah allow this rap to unwind. Let the rapper that the books without a point is made. What we need is love. What everybody needs is love. Womb to the tomb, cradle to the grave. And at the end of the day, the best thing I can say is, Allah Akbar. That was most great. A lot of people in the West have looked elsewhere for a place in the sun or a reason to care. Oh, I did that one, didn't I? The places we were never taught ever existed. When I discovered the truth, I must admit I felt twisted. I went inward and reflected, tried to stay objective, knew I had to solve it, couldn't be neglected. I did that one, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
It's so beautiful, it's not a problem with
It flows so much better. It's like, yeah.
It's like, I do like blah blah. And I do like blah blah blah.
freestyle, motherfucker race.
So I was saying, if the spirit moves you and you feel to relate, make a joyful noise because love is most great. Okay, I'll leave that one there. The next one was
Well, well done, that was amazing.
the next one was like, it was more like a fun one. When we used to get together, we'd have like competitions, boasting competitions. In New Orleans, they call it boss talk. And this one's called Mr. Peace, MOP. And I looked that up. I wrote this years ago, and then later on I came back and I realized the Americans had used that as a name for some of their what could I say, sneaky ops in other countries, you know what I mean? And I think this as a metaphor, like this, I live with a guy called Jenny Kenny and his wife Brenda, who had she had a deal with Virgin Records as Brenda and the Beach Boys. And Jenny Kenny used to go out with Sir Freddie Viaduct's high-powered hi-fi, he called it so. And when I was working on a hi-fi, because he did this music that was like spaghetti western sometimes. And he said my voice sounded like a cowboy's voice. And how I was billed on the record, right, was something like Chuck, you know, or some kind of like cowboy name. I can't even remember it now. But this is called Mr. Peace. And it goes like this. As I list for you the factors that continue to distinguish whatever I do as something fresh to step to. Rocking the hard times since the age of 9. I wasn't veteran then, way ahead of my time, but that's the edge inherent in my creed. The microphone's my lance, the rhythm is my steed. Give me a pop and bass, what more could I need? Turn it up, watch the speakers breathe, roar hard. That's my calling card. I add philosophy to the funk, strike up the fun, regulate the bass to bound full stun. Bassline doubles as a laser gun, light amplification of stimulated emission of radiation equation. Bassline doubles as a laser gun. When me and the crew go out on a mission, we all take our own kind of ammunition. You don't have to listen. You can feel the vibes, blues, jazz, funk, hip hop. Because victory permeates our vision. So get your cassette or get a check on the dance hall, dub, play the extra sketch. The crowd bubbles up like they want some more. We're off on a run, bombing the dance floor with the beat. Once more into the breach, conflicts resolved, all wars cease. Hajj Muhammad Khalil on a mission of peace. Everybody in the house say, woo, woo, that's the sound of the police. Woo, woo, that's the sound of the police. So, I forgot where it was. From city to city, coast to coast, I was jamming out the lyrics the longest and the most, and a ratio that I was just sexting on. I cold kick the lyrics like a Gatling gun. Give me a bulletproof mic, the hype won't break it. The lyrics were so hot, the microphone couldn't take it. He took my rap down to ballistics. I had to go down there to check the statistics. I was listening to cold lyrics with the lethal logistics. Attacking my Dracula, quite spectacular. A dynamite diction with a scout's vernacular, with a slang like syntax that has few equals. Each line leading up to the following sequel. I said, hey, don't diss, no meaning. I mean it. Seriously. I got 4 or 5 slick rap images and pictures because it takes less effort for your mind to stick with. Better duck when we throw that switch. The needle hits straight, the DJ just splits a little after that. We come through the speakers for bits. But don't jet, you take a cassette or get upset. It's a dance hall, double play, extra sketch. Crowd balls up like they want some more. Put off on a run. Bombing the dance floor with the beat. Once more into the breeze. Conflicts resolved, all wars cease. You got a whole bunch of poets on a mission of peace saying, one world, one beat. You know what's coming from? A human heartbeat. And round about now, I'm just rapping for peace. It's all true beliefs that will get me released. Yo, Allah Akbar. Usually I'm in with a Muslim audience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
You miss, so do it again then.
I will do next verse. Let me see. You can tell I'm about to have my say. The DJ hands me a Perrier. Suspense is intense, the edge escalates. You used to stay home when you came too late. I feel the place firmly on the ground. Lyrics flying through the air, the speed of sound is a crash. The air feeds back where I can take it. I feel to get ill, but I chill and I shake it. I grab the mic, I yell Geronimo. I'm back into the beat as hard as I can possibly go. No hesitation, sheer dedication. You hear the squadron needs a signal, break formation. A bombardier drops more bass in your ear. Boom, shine around, my name's Lang. I go and click on the dance floor, on the go, on the rhythm section. I'm jamming out the beats in every direction. I'm just blasting out the beats in every direction. I glide, slide up the mix till I ride the beat needs. It's better that way. Then I can rock it to the sweet rap aesthetic simulation. Atmospheric stimulation. It's like a game. I demand concentration. Tell you, get off the wall, have a good time. Hey, get off the wall, have a good time. Chill, don't catch the beat and move it. When we have the bass, you know you can't refuse it. Don't jet. You take a cassette, we get upset. It's a dance hall, don't play extra sketch. Cowboys up like I want some more. Off on the run. I'm on the dance floor with the beat. Let's walk into the beach. Cowboys strong, all what's these? We've got a whole heap of poets, artists, creators, DJs, break dancers, photographers on a mission of peace, saying one world, one beat. You know what's coming from a human heartbeat? And round about now, just rapping for peace.
Yeah.
All the hip-hop nation, come and give me a release. Peace. That's one. It's a spoken word one. And it's just about breath. It's a jazz poem. We are breathing in and breathing out. One breath of the universe. The Davis dances in the garden of misplaced memorabilia, the Howlin' Cats hollers down hollow avenues, begets with backstreet, backwater blues and beatitudes that dictate the time of this place, this struggle, these times of trouble. The Gravel unravels speech patterns that just seem to happen, rhythms and scales for the bluesman to wail, in tune with the height of the minaret that conveys Walal, the Ethiopian muezzin's tale, following the truth of this life, trying to keep that truth in the light, seeking the good in people, and then praying that you're right. The Jere and the Jare extemporaneously compose articles of faith, no time to waste, no time to tarry, but there's still so much need to communicate. Impongi puzzled ever so suspiciously. Jalofo just struggles judiciously, because the need is greater than it's ever been, where the grass is red, no longer green. Carved in stone, they kill the dream, but the truth flows freely on life's crystal stream. And in a less complacent dimension, where dancers awaken, speaking in broken trances of lost causes and eternal romances, a stray word entrances, a sly-eyed glances, a lost alphabet reforms, a forgotten tongue flexes, regaining its form, and the golden notion splinters into a rainbow of infinite diversity, truth without form. Steel-tipped sonnets, glass oasis, shaka's spear, gazebo palm, lion songs of ancient Mali, cowrie shells, the hunter's charm, Kaffee bongo, blue sarong, science Egyptian and a Mohawk song, and a Sudanese zikr that lasts hours long, and the baseline lingo of the sublinguistics springing forth from a medicine beat, blossoming into an opulent bouquet, with opportunities of lots of interesting, beautiful things to say. Each word breathing life into love, each breath of love simply becoming something tangible, something infinitely more real, something quite substantial. For now, I remember Sheikh Suleiman Al-Hadi from Brooklyn saying to me back in 1983, put more meaning in the things that you do, and there will be more meaning in you. Remembrance. Trying not to lose sight of that higher ideal, without which none of this is real. Without which, none of this is really real. Without which, real meaning evades us. Remembrance. Each breath of love becoming. We are simply becoming. We are simply becoming something tangible, something infinitely more real, something quite substantial, credible enough for now. We are breathing in and breathing out the one breath of the universe. Peace.